What's up, guys? Today I'm going to give you 5 things you could do if you are struggling to take your business to the next level in Amazon, or just struggling to get selling on the platform and get it off the ground. I have recently started a program, nothing to do with reselling, and is teaching me a ton, and I'm applying these things to my business as well. So let's just get into it. So I recently started doing the 75 Hard program by Andy Frisella. It is a fitness challenge where you have to sign in every day. You have to do 2 45-minute workouts. You have to take a progress picture every day. You have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book or a book you will learn something from. Drink 1 gallon of water a day. You have to follow a diet, a healthy diet. You just can't do calories and work at McDonald's. It has to be no cheat meals, very clean. And no cheat meals and no alcohol. I've always heard about this challenge. I've kind of always wanted to do it. This is just a good time for me to do it and start. I'm happy I'm doing it. I am 9 days in. And I'm going to go over some things I've already learned that I'm applying to my business. This is a great example how you don't just have to consume content from Instagram and YouTube. I'm happy you're here, don't get me wrong on that, but you can learn a lot from the outside and not just kind of influencers on Twitter or Instagram, TikTok or whatever. So the first thing I learned and what I did, this is the first time I'm talking about 75 Hard. If you are starting your business, your Amazon business right now, or trying to do something different, don't tell anyone. That is what I did for this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I didn't want to hear how hard it was. I know a lot of people do 75 Hard. They do it, they get 20 days, 30 days in, and then they stop. So I didn't want to hear that, how many people failed. I wanted to do it for myself, or at least get started, and then figure out what it's really like. So if someone said, oh, it's so hard to do this, or it's so hard to do that, I want to be able to say, I don't really find it that hard, or you're right, this is what I'm doing to, overcome that. So that's number one. Number two, I didn't want to hear, that doesn't sound like it's gonna work, it doesn't sound healthy, I didn't want to hear any of that. I basically just wanted to start the program, do it, not say anything to anyone else, and that is kind of how I am going about it. And I think it was super helpful for the first 9 days to get me through it, because when you post something sometimes on social media or tell other people about it, they constantly ask you about it. It becomes stressful. So just go at it at your own. When I first started my business, flipping furniture, I didn't really tell anyone. It was just really me who knew about it and my girlfriend, because I thought people would say it's weird, it's this, it's that. It wasn't until I started making money that people were like, oh, that's kind of weird. I was like, oh, yeah, maybe, but I'm making $2,000 a month doing it. And then they're like, oh yeah, it's not that weird. So keep it to yourself. Obviously, engage with the community, ask for help, stuff like that. But when it comes to family and friends, maybe just leave them out of it until you get up and going. Number two, when you first start something, especially an Amazon business or any endeavor, you think about all the bad things. So for example, when I started 75 Hard, I was thinking about, well, I have to do, one of the workouts has to be outdoors. So I was thinking, one, when it rains, it's really gonna suck to have to walk outside or do whatever my workout will be for that day outside. It has rained twice, and we'll get into that in a second. That was one of them. Two, not drinking. I love craft beers. I like just kind of having beers on the weekend or just hanging out. So I feel like that will be difficult. Going out with people and not drinking, because that's kind of what we do on the weekend sometimes, would be kind of difficult. And then of course, working out twice a day. I need to add another 90 minutes to my day, which is already jam-packed, to get these 2 workouts done. So what I learned about this, so when I actually had to do the 2 workouts in the rain, I think it was day 5 and 7 maybe, it wasn't that bad. I put a hoodie on, You know, it rained, I got a little wet. You know, it wasn't super terrible, I guess. I mean, it's not something I would go out and choose to do, but it wasn't that bad. And I think that's what happens with Amazon. When you first start selling on Amazon, you're worried about getting ungated. What softwares do you need? Will you get suspended? Oh, what about customer returns? All this kind of stuff. And to be honest, you could just deal with that stuff as it happens. And once it happens, you realize it's really not a big deal and it's really not that bad. You're gonna get your first return, you're gonna be like, whatever, it went back into my inventory, had to pay some fees on that, whatever, no big deal. Oh, I just got ungated in Lego or whatever it is. It wasn't really that hard. I could probably just do the same exact thing and apply that to the rest of the ungating. So don't let all these bad things stop you from even getting started, because they're just really not that bad. Number 3, having a goal slash destination slash something you're doing every day is super, super important for me. So basically every day I open up the 75 Hard app, and it's basically there are things in there, and they just have little circles, and just human nature, I want to check all those circles. So that is what I'm doing for the day. It's not, there's no question about it. That is what I'm getting done for the day. Doesn't matter what else happens in the day. That is what's getting done. So I know I'm going to do 2 workouts. I know I'm going to drink a gallon of water. I know I'm going to read 10 pages. I'm going to follow diet. I'm not going to drink. And if I miss one, I'm going to do that other thing as well. So when you are doing an Amazon business, you have to do the same thing. You have to have things mapped out. You can't just be like, well, if there's time to do it, I'll do it. No, you got to be like, hey, I'm going to find 3 profitable ASINs today. Hey, I'm going to set up my seller account today. Hey, I'm going to source at least 90 minutes every day. I'm going to spend X amount of money every day. And you just have to stick to that and not let anything get in your way. So I'll have more of that in a second. Number 4. So one of the things you have to do is you have to take pictures of yourself every day. And you have to read a physical book. And part of the reason that's part of the program is because the theory is when you're taking pictures every day of yourself, obviously when you get finished with the program, it's going to be great to have all those photos of the new you compared to the old you. But also with the book is you constantly see progress. So when you mark a book, my book is here, you can see that there. You know, I'm making progress on this book. I'm reading 10 pages every day, and I can see I'm making progress. And I think that's important in a reselling business or an Amazon business. You need to be taking track. I would highly suggest writing down how long you sourced. Keep it in a spreadsheet. How long did you source? How many products did you find? How much money did you spend? And kind of have a running tally of all of it. I do that myself and find that very helpful, because you're not going to be making money in the first, I don't know, let's call it a month or 2. You're going to be buying inventory, you're going to be sending it to Amazon, or even if you're getting into a different area. For example, when I was going from books to online arbitrage, it took like 2 months to start seeing results. I was doing books, then I started slowly doing online arbitrage, slowly started to see results. It wasn't right away, but I was able to see progress. I was able to see I was spending money every day, I was buying new products, I was sourcing new websites. So there was things there that kept me going, because I'm like, I'm making progress. It's just a matter of time before all this kicks in, that it starts to work. Number 5, this is the big one. Not having time is a big myth. You have time, I have time, we all have the same amount of time. It's what we do with the time. For me, to add an extra hour, 90 minutes to the day, I didn't even think was possible. It just seems crazy to me. I mean, I run a Discord, I run a boot camp that helps other people sell on Amazon. I have the business I run, I'm training a virtual assistant. I have a Discord. I make YouTube videos, I have social media, I have a lot going on. So to add an hour and a half into that just seemed crazy to me. But what I learned is that you can make the time for it if you really do. You do have time, you just have to make it. And I know I don't have kids or anything like that, but there is definitely time in the day that you have that you could be sourcing or doing other stuff, because that's what it comes down to. If you have a list of things you have to get done, you will get them done. I promise you. You're gonna figure out ways to do different things or not do things. I basically stopped consuming a lot of garbage on Twitter, or just like little things where, oh, let me just check Twitter for 10 minutes, or let me just do this for 10 minutes. All that adds up. Do that 3 times, that's a half hour, right? That could have been spent sourcing or making a video like this or whatever. So don't say you don't have time. So those are kind of the 5 things I've learned from doing 75 hard. So just in review, 1, don't tell anyone you're starting or what you're planning on doing. Just do it. Because you're going to tell them, you're going to tell people, you're going to post it on social media, and then if it's not the right decision for you, you're going to feel bad not doing it, and then it could take a different course. And I've learned from doing this, as someone who posts a lot on social media, sometimes it's just easier to start something just by yourself and then talk about it later if you want to. Number 2, don't think about all the bad things that are happening. Pretty much anything you do or start, there's gonna be bad things you don't wanna do. Don't let that stop you. The bad things really aren't that bad. Number 3, have a goal or destination with steps for the day. Know how much you wanna source, know how many ASINs you wanna find, or whatever you need to do, and do that daily. Number 4, track your progress. Show when you see you're making progress, it's a lot easier to stay with something than when you're like, like I bought a bunch of stuff, I don't know, it's on the joint. Like, just track it. You'll see how many things you bought. You're like, wow, I already bought 50 things. That's great. And number 5, find the time. It's there. You just have to stop doing other stuff that you're just wasting time with. And again, this is if you're not happy, you want to start a business, or you're not happy where your Amazon business is. If you're happy, then that is fine. But these things have truly started to really turn my business around. I have a to-do list every day now that has to get done. It's just been really powerful for me. So let me know what you think in the comments about this, the 5 things I just talked about. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If you are not in the FBA Inner Circle Discord group, the free one, get in there. We have a lot of big things coming up. We have a lot of people that we're interviewing, so we do a coaching call every week. And there's tons of free templates in there, how to get ungated, stores to shop at that are reseller friendly, all that kind of stuff. So I hope to see you on the inside, and I will see you guys in the next video.